A model in Insight Maker is actually intended to tell a story and surface an insight associated with that story. And it's much easier, generally much easier to convey the understanding of that model and the insight or insights associated with it if you can in fact unfold that model piecewise and provide an explanation of the pieces as the story unfolds. The same way that you might think of a play being presented in a number of acts and scenes and the interactions of the players from one scene to another as the story unfolds. So I'm very excited to tell you about a new function or new feature that's been implemented in Insight Maker. Previously, there was an unfolding capability that was created using a set of JavaScript buttons so that you could do a setup and then you could display the model piecewise by clicking the display button, which was all well and good, though it was, a bit difficult to set up, advanced to say the least, because one had to actually write the JavaScript to make this happen. So with the implementation of the unfolding feature itself, there's a new button on the tools menu right here called unfolding. The three functions that used to be here have been moved to an advanced drop-down, the macro sensitivity and optimization, just because the menu gets a little full after a while. So the new feature is called unfolding, and if you click on it, it opens a window that allows you to go ahead and enable unfolding and allows for the addition of steps as you need them, so that the first one might be change visibility. Once you select or add that step, you can select from any of the primitives that appear on the model by simply clicking on them, and after you've added them you can turn them off, or you could select a series of items on the model itself holding down the control key and then saying select from diagram, and then you can change the opacity associated with that particular step, and then you can add another step, and the next step might be to go ahead and simply for the rabbits tell it that you want to set the opacity to 100 full. Then you might want to go ahead and show a message. We start with some rabbits, and we might actually want the rabbits to be visible and the message to happen at the same time, so we can add a folder and put those two items in the folder. Alright, here we go. You got to get it on top of the folder so it actually drops in. So now when I go ahead and tell it to apply, I then end up with a little plus sign down here that says unfold a model, and when I click on it I get a little step arrow, and the first thing it does is it dimmed all of the elements of the model. And why didn't start with rabbits? Let me start over. Why didn't it okay, let me go back and look at it and say change visibility. Oh, well, I thought I selected the rabbits, but I didn't, so let me try it again. Select them, select from diagram, so the rabbits are there. So now it's supposed to set the visibility for rabbits. Let me try it again. So now when I start over, it dims all of the items, and the first thing it does is it displays rabbits and says we start with some rabbits. Now additionally, there are you can also add to this a step which allows you to open and close folders, so that for this particular model doesn't have a folder, but you could select a folder and tell it to expand or collapse the folder. And you could also add a step which says run action, And the run action allows you to code any JavaScript command in here that you want. And you might, a simple one might be to actually run the model. And let me get rid of this toggle folders because it's not used in this model. So when we apply this now, the first step is to dim the model, apply it, make rabbits visible, and then actually run the model itself from the JavaScript command. For the commands for this run action, there is in fact a very large set of functions defined in the API for Insight Maker that you can use to code into the functions along with all of the valid JavaScript so that you can manipulate the model itself in a significant number of ways. And I'll be doing another video shortly on how to build scenarios for the models that you create. So that this is just a short example. Here is a longer one that's already finished, so that if I tell it to unfold the model, the first thing it does is dim it. Then it opens the folder, shows rabbits, and provides a message about, first we start with a few rabbits, then births, make more rabbits, add with a birth rate, and feedback, rabbits multiply quickly, and then go ahead and actually run the model itself. So this is, and in addition, there's one other option, and that is when you've enabled this, you get to indicate whether unfolding should automatically run always for non-editors, for editors, or never, so that you get to indicate if there are times, in other words, if you create a model and you want unfolding to run for, always run for people that access the model and don't have editor access to the model, you can say for non-editors and you automatically want it to unfold, or you can say that you never want it to unfold for anyone or for editors, or always unfold. So those are the options available for developing storytelling, and it's far easier for one to configure than with the previous JavaScript buttons. And as soon as I get this video online, I will tie it into the Insight Maker tools context that we're building. So hope you find it useful. I'm really excited about using it because I think it's going to make it much easier to convey the meaning intended for models to other people. Take care. Bye.